3. What's up, everybody? I'm K. Marie.
I am Lou.
I'm Mary. And we are
Mirth in the Midwest.
Alright, so imagine showing up to your shift as usual, minding your own business, just being a good kid.
Okay.
You just showing up to work like you always do.
Alright.
Trying to put some money in your pocket after graduating high school.
I think we all were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I was working.
I wasn't. Well, after college, or after high school, yes. My first year of college, yes, I was. And so she had just graduated high school.
Okay.
And was saving up for college.
Okay.
Only for her to go to work and this to be the worst and also the last day that she will ever show up for this job.
Baby, now there are jobs where it be your last day to show up because the motherfuckers get on your nerves.
And I'ma quit.
And I'ma see you never. But this ain't that.
This ain't that. So we're gonna start with a trigger warning.
Already?
Yeah.
Line 3 we start
Right now. This actually happened.
Okay, well hold on.
From
before we even do this, I need a little more.
I'll throw it up, no problem.
Throw it up, because if we about to get right on into the shit, then I need a little more looking.
No problem. And this ain't a sponsored video, but if XXL want to go ahead and throw us some dollars.
Right, because it is pretty delicious. I know they said mango. I was getting a little peach. I don't know.
Okay, but yes. So there is a trigger warning. This does go into details of rape, abuse, and we don't go into the details because we're just like obsessed with gore or gory details or things like that. We go into the details as to not take away from what these victims endured, what they had to actually experience, and what these people are guilty of. You know,
because it's really easy to sugarcoat it and be like, oh well, they killed them. No, they were heinous.
Yes.
They didn't even treat them with the respect that you would give to an animal. It was them getting their whatever they get from what they do. Yep. That's what it was.
Yeah. And sometimes people just do complete overkill. Like the victim is already dead and people still do the absolute most. So I just feel like sometimes people just do too much. But what point did you prove?
Well, and not only that, like the excuses that they give, like at the end of the cases, when they start saying, oh, well, no, you didn't have to do any of this.
Oh, and this one is filled with, I got a reason for this or the excuse for this.
Nobody wants to hear any of your reasons, any of your excuses. They really just want you to shut the fuck up and go ahead and get to the electric chair.
The judge sitting there like,
please shut the fuck up, because I don't want to hear this shit.
If judges could say, please shut the fuck up, I'm sure many of them would.
Oh, yeah.
So, here in Mirth in the Midwest, we give the facts of the case, and then we follow with our opinions and what we think. So, we just gonna go ahead and put that out there. Alright. So, our story today is about Christel Helmchen. She was a 19-year-old who worked at the White Hen Pantry in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Oh, that's close.
Very close. Yeah. She was an honors high school graduate. She was working to save for college. She typically worked alone on the late shift. And so because of this, police officers on night duty, they would just stop by to get a cup of coffee or a donut or whatever, just to check in on her. But it was like, you know, a kind of town like where people knew each other.
And Valpo is that type of town. So most of the towns when you're talking about Northwest Indiana are small towns. Even the ones that are considered cities are small. You have a lot of camaraderie, a lot of everyone looking out for their neighbors, that type of activity. And you're going to see that it is close knit. So everyone who's anyone knows someone. Yeah. You know, you can have an incident happen and it's like, well, you may not know that person, but you know their brother or you know their mother, or in some facet it has touched your life. And really, when you think about Valpo, like it seems big, but it's really not that big. No.
And so Christel, she was working alone at the White Hen Pantry in Valparaiso, Indiana, in the early hours of November 14th, 1990, when she was abducted, raped, brutalized, tortured, and then murdered. Her body was found later that day at a construction site near Highway 6 in Valparaiso. And the autopsy showed the cause of death to be a shotgun wound to the head.
Oh my God.
And further revealed that she had been sexually assaulted with severe injuries to her pubic area as well as her anal canal. So that's why I did the trigger warning early because it gets right into it. Mm-hmm. So that was all on early hours of November 14th. So they had found her body at this construction site. Then the afternoon of the 14th, they found her checkbook in the driveway of 206 Holcomb in LaPorte, Indiana.
Oh, and that's okay. So for those who don't know Northwest Indiana, when you're talking about the span of what we have, you have a few counties that are in Northwest Indiana. We are considered a Chicagoland region. Most of the area can be reached. You can reach Chicago within an hour or less. Valpo is more east. So you are talking about an area like when you're coming from Chicago, since it's more west, you're going to hit Gary before you hit Valpo. You're going to hit Hobart before you hit Valpo. And then after that, then you hit the unincorporated area, but then you hit Valpo. They have like townships like South Haven and stuff like that. It is a very quaint but very like populated area. Mm-hmm. They have a really cute like downtown area that is like the center of everything, and most people it's historical. People love to go down there. Some cool things that happen in Valpo is the popcorn festival, because Orville Redenbacher started his popcorn in Valparaiso, Indiana.
I didn't even know that.
And they have Harry Potter Fest in July.
I didn't know about the Harry Potter Fest, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's actually why when you're in the downtown square where that music shell is, there's actually a statue of, it's a sculpture of Orville sitting on a bench. That's who's on the bench. That's Orville Redenbacher.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at me laying. I took a picture with him.
Yeah. So it's like a very, homey, warm feeling when you're downtown. Even though it's a downtown area, it's like a very
like square.
Like it is a square.
It's square.
Yeah. It is a square, and it's a lot of shops, small businesses, and restaurants, and just all kinds of things. There's a skating rink. They use it in the summertime for like festivals and stuff. But it's like a very like together community type of.
It reminds you of Crown Point a little bit, like their downtown square area. Yeah. It's literally almost the same. Everything is like one directional. It got some of the same like restaurants because they're pretty much franchises, but it's like a lot of it.
Some of them are, but some of them are like you have the franchises like Ricochet, and you have the True Whiskey, but then you have other ones that are truly their own small businesses like Mediterranean, which is fabulous Mediterranean food, and you have Stacks, which is their own original, and
I love Stacks.
The Blockhead, they make their own beer and stuff like that. So it's a regional like stuff that you are only going to get there. You're not going to find it anywhere else. They take pride in their stuff. People take pride in their community in this area.
And this was early 90s, which was still the case.
Yeah, absolutely. It was even more so then. Now I feel like people are branching out and they're doing some more.
Yeah, I was about to say in the 90s, it was definitely like where I feel like as far as in this area, no matter where you were, it was a lot of like, your neighbor. Like growing up, I knew who my neighbors were.
Oh, for sure. You talked to them.
We talked to them. Now I feel like it's more common like where you don't even know your neighbor's name.
Well, I think because especially with the age that we're in, we are off of coming off the heels of COVID. Kids are definitely more into their devices. Even the adults are more into their devices, social media and stuff like that. It definitely changes how you interact with people. So that does change that element of community. But generally, once you live somewhere for a while, you're going to get to know who they are. At least you may not know a lot about them. It may not be like back in the day when y'all would talk and like if they saw you were sick and you hadn't shoveled your snow in a couple of days, they coming out and they shoveling and stuff like that. But
to go back to those days would be so fantastic, but we don't do that now. Like I think everybody is so it's great to mind your business. Everybody is so pro. I'm minding my business. They ain't got shit to do with me. Like a house on fire, I'm gonna keep walking past because I ain't had shit to do with it. But it would be nice to just get back to those times where everybody actually giving a shit about each other.
But it takes, what's crazy is I have these conversations all the time. So I think that it takes people actually doing it, not just talking about it. Like you have to, my dad used to always say, to make a friend, you have to show yourself friendly. So if you want these things in your community, you have to start doing them.
Right, but also people are so apprehensive too. Like when you so nice to them, they like, it's
what you trying to do? Right. What you trying to do? Why are you being nice to me? Why are you talking to me? Who are you?
Yeah, a lot of people are just so, I guess,
are you trying to make it on the Merc in the Midwest part? Because you trying to kill me?
Trying to make me
literally, that's how it is. It's like everything just feel like a setup. Like we could be somewhere. Like I remember just being on a trip in the South. I was somewhere in Texas, and like these ladies walked up to me and one of my friends, and she was like, "Oh my God, you girls are so pretty," and we just like,
I told y'all about that, right?
Like, bitch, we about to slide this bitch right now because she too friendly.
Let me tell y'all. So we went to go visit one of my cousins in San Antonio, and we were there just at this winery having a good time talking, sitting out on the sitting out on this patio with our little drinks and stuff. And this man had a little dog, and I think so. One of my cousins saw him and was like, "Oh, he's so cute," like giving him rubs and stuff. I don't even remember the dog's name, but anyway. So as we're doing this and we're talking to him, he's like, I just love seeing people out having a good time, and you ladies, you're beautiful and you're just really enjoying each other's company. Whatever the dog's name was, wanted to buy us a drink, he said. So he bought us a round of drinks, and it was like really nice. And and so those side eyes that y'all were giving, it's like when you live in a community where you don't have that, or you do have it and it was there, but then it's kind of gone. And so now you're kind of on the leery, like you stay over there. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you that feeling, but then you also have to remember, like, you have to remove yourself from that because not everyone has bad intentions.
Absolutely. But I feel like it goes into, like, I've seen men talk about how sometimes I just be saying, hey, to a girl, and
they don't want anything.
I don't want anything. I don't want you to know nothing. I was just seeing how you was doing or whatever. And it's like, it's so hard to believe that, because when you've experienced where most of the time where you're being approached, somebody wants something from you.
It was an older man. We could see as the drinks were being poured, so we knew, you know what I mean?
No, in those cases, I'm a much more friendly person in cases like that. Even when people come up and compliment me, because I'm a complimentary person, I'm quick to tell somebody, like, ooh, I like your shoes. Or, oh my God, them earrings. Like, no matter where I am, I'm in a club or a bar, whatever, I'm like, oh girl, this, that, and that. Or, ooh, hey dude, this, that, and that, I like this. And it's, people have told me, I've had people tell me that I'm too flirtatious, or you're too friendly and things like that. And it's like, I'm just a likable person. So like I said, they went to this address in LaPorte.
Okay.
And this was the residence of a man named Perry Miller, his wife Betty, Betty's 19-year-old son William Harmon, and Harmon's 16-year-old friend Rodney Wood.
So wait a minute, they all were living in this home? The friend?
Yes.
The mom? The grandma.
No. So it's the man, his wife.
Okay.
Her son. So it was his stepson.
Okay.
And then the stepson's friend.
Okay. Why was the friend living in the house with you?
Do not know.
If anyone knows, I want to know.
Probably because of some issues
at home
that they had.
Okay.
So the police actually questioned Miller as to the whereabouts of Harmon and Wood. He informed them that the last time he had seen them was at approximately midnight the previous evening when they left the residence. He consented to a search of his home, and 2 shotguns were found in the attic of a bedroom, which Miller identified as Harmon and Woods.
So he not even knowing nothing going on. He like, sure, search his house. Ain't nothing going on over here, officer.
So, he denied
kids, children. I don't even have no damn kids, but I got nephews. I hope you're listening. Don't you ever have me out here bad in these streets. Don't have me looking like a damn dummy. Tell me something.
Give me a heads up.
Anything. Like, give me the side eye. Like, when he be like, let's search this house, he be like, anything.
But
anything.
At this point, though, Harmon and them weren't there.
Oh, my God.
Switched. So,
don't have me out here bad in these streets looking like a damn dummy.
So they found the shotguns. Miller denied having seen the shotguns previously. At this time, he was not considered a suspect.
Okay.
On November 15th, 1990, the Owensboro, Kentucky police notified authorities in Valparaiso that they had taken 4 individuals into custody. 2 of them resided at the 206 Holcomb residence. And they were none other than William Harmon and Rodney Wood.
Dun, dun, dun.
Surprise, surprise.
Not surprised at all, because this little ass can't even go home. So what the hell he been doing?
So officers from the Indiana State Police and the Porter County Sheriff's Department went to Owensboro, and they transported Harmon, Wood, and 2 15-year-old girls, Stephanie Bell and April Bowman, back to Valparaiso and interrogated them. Along with bringing them back, they brought back a vehicle that had been stolen from LaPorte, Indiana, which the 4 of them had driven to Owensboro. Yeah. And can y'all guess what was inside the vehicle?
Well, let me guess. Let's see. Well, we know the shotguns was in the attic, so that wasn't it. Mm-hmm. But they had took a checkbook, right?
No, the checkbook was found outside the residence. That's what made them.
Maybe it was her purse,
a body,
a wallet.
It was a black leather coat belonging to Christel, and a blue spotted shirt, which was missing one sleeve. That will come up later. Okay?
You know what? What the hell, y'all? Back in the day, Wilson's was a very popular store, and if you needed a leather coat, you could go there and get one on the cheap, for like $15.
Could you imagine them giving this coat to one of these 15-year-old girls? First of all, why is a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old with 2 15-year-old girls?
Statutory rape. Where is his charges?
They're coming.
They're not going.
So
never mind.
So both Harmon and Wood gave statements to police at that time.
Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what happens. Squirrel brain. Why was the 19-year-old hanging out with the 16-year-old again anyway? You done graduated high school, sir. What the hell are you doing?
But you know what this remind me of? So, I don't know if you remember a couple years back in Portage. It was like this girl. She was like 24, 25. And she made a drug deal with these 2 teenagers. They was like 15, 16 years old. It was 3 of them. They drove out there. I don't know if y'all all are familiar with where Frontier is. The old building. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
right on the curve.
Yeah. So she met them in a parking lot. They ended up robbing her, killing her, and dumping her body.
Oh, I remember the story.
And it's just like, why are you dealing with children? Like,
ma'am,
you're a child. Regardless, it's a drug deal, whatever. Anytime there's teen attached to anybody's name, keep me out of it.
No, listen. So I'm gonna just say,
18,
I'ma just say this.
I'ma
just say this. Like we real grown. In my 20s, I will say, the environment in which I worked around young people. But I'm not kicking it with. I'm not saying I'm not gonna never talk to you. I'm not gonna act like you don't exist in the world. I'm not kicking it with you like that.
We not friends.
So I do have 2 friends that are younger than me, but we were all in our 20s at this time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like I'm 20 and I'm hanging out with a 15-year-old. That's some weird ass shit. Like, what do you really... I mean, you may have things in common. You may have stuff that y'all find funny. It may be activities that you do that are similar. But if I'm 21 and I can drink and you can't drink, what we doing? You can't even buy a damn lottery ticket.
Well, Harmon and Wood both gave statements to the police, and they sang like canaries.
Because they always gonna tell. Remember when we did that poll and I said, do it by yourself.
Here's the killer part though. In both of their statements, they mentioned Mr. Perry Miller.
Oh, shit.
This man who ain't know nothing about nothing.
Uh-huh.
In both of their statements, they mentioned him.
Hey, Perry.
So, here's a timeline of events. So, we're going to go back, and I'm going to give y'all the details.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, so, again, trigger warning. Trigger warning. On Monday, November 12th, 1990, Perry Miller started a conversation with Wood and Harmon, suggesting that he knew a place they could rob.
Oh, he gave him the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's Katie's famous line is? You could have just filled out a job application.
You sure could have.
Simple.
You know what? You could have just set your ass down and been broke.
That too. So Rodney Wood and William Harmon, they had a history. They had previously stolen several cars. They had committed robbery, and they were looking for money to fund their little road trip to Kentucky, where they were. And if you
see what I mean?
In 1990, gas had to be like.
Wait a minute. First of all, in 1990, and don't even play us like that. I'm gonna tell you, in 1998, when I started driving, gas was 98 cents. So I'm gonna tell you, it was at least 80 cents then.
And I said 79 cents. I was close.
She being funny, but it
Maybe
was
I was
cheap.
born in 1990. I know the cheap shit. I wish we had it now with gas being almost $4.
So you literally had to steal to get $10
to go up the street to Kentucky.
to get, because you could have probably got to Kentucky on almost one tank. So you only did $10. So you had to go do what?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe $15 because you know the miles per gallon on them cars.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, you could have looked on the street behind somebody and they would have dropped $10.
You could have got a job.
First of all, you could have cut somebody. You wouldn't even have to get a job. Fuck a job. Cut somebody grass. That's $10 right there. What the fuck are you doing?
Look.
What a time.
What a time.
So, Perry Miller described the White Hand Pantry in Valparaiso as a good place to rob.
Oh my God.
The following evening, Tuesday, November 13th, 1990, Wood and Harmon had several discussions with Miller regarding the White Hand Pantry. Also regarding Christel, the clerk that worked at the White Hand Pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
Both Wood and Harmon, in their statement, stated that Miller suggested they should kidnap, rape, and kill her as part of the robbery.
Now I call bullshit on that.
It's giving a BTK killer now.
That's giving. Let me put the blame on somebody else.
But wait,
now he might have told him to go ahead and rob, but I don't think that he told him to rape, rob, and murder her.
There's more.
Come on.
So
what's Perry's deal? How old was Perry?
Perry at the time was, hold on, I want to say he was like 36.
A whole grown ass
What is
man
Perry's
that
32, something like that.
What's Perry's name again?
Perry Miller.
Hold on, let me look up Perry.
No, if you look it up, it's gonna give you too much information.
Hold on, I need to look him up. See, we have this amazing thing in Indiana. It's called Indiana Court Records.
Perry Miller was 43 at the time.
Oh, he sounds like a
super
pedophile.
grown ass.
If he told them to do that, he a straight up pedophile.
It's your big age.
He is straight up.
Listen.
To rape and rob and murder a 19-year-old girl.
Listen.
It's giving pedophile.
The three of them left the home at 206 Holcomb at approximately midnight on November 13th in Miller's vehicle with Miller driving. The first thing he did was he drove them to a construction site near Valparaiso to show the other two where he wanted them to bring her. Miller then drove to the White Hand Pantry where he dropped off Harmon and Wood, having advised them to purchase 2 cans of pop, then to pull a weapon on her when she opened the cash register drawer. Harmon and Wood did as advised, forced her to give them her keys, and took Christel in her car to the construction site where Miller was waiting.
Were these two like special needs kids or something?
They were a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old. They didn't have any special needs or anything like that.
What is going on that somebody can tell? Like, okay, I understand you want money. I understand you want money.
The 19-year-old, this is his stepdad telling him to do this stuff.
I don't care.
I know you don't, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like some people, they take that parental role and they take advantage of it.
I feel like that, but I'm just thinking of like the boys, and I'm thinking of like younger kids that I know, And I just don't see them being okay with somebody be like, oh, come on, we're going to kill this little girl. We're going to take over here. We're going to just... I don't feel like, They be like, yeah, fuck you.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you can have it. I'm going to go ahead and rob this place, but you can go fuck yourself because I'm not doing that. Well, you can do it if you want to do it so damn bad. Go ahead. And then let me call the cops.
Well, here's where we get into the details of what they did to Christel.
My Lord.
So,
I think y'all might want to stop watching or listening.
Yeah,
when she gets to this point. Like, yeah.
So, if you can't handle it.
It is a trigger warning. We've said that many times on here. Harmon and Wood brought Christel into the home that was being constructed. And Harmon gagged her. So that shirt that was missing a sleeve, they used the sleeve to gag her.
They didn't even come prepared.
Miller had followed Harmon and Wood to the site in his car, and upon entering the home, he began to fondle Christel. As she attempted to move away from him, Miller threw her to the floor and continued to fondle her, tearing her blouse, removing her pants and underwear. Then he directed Wood to engage in sexual intercourse with her, which he did. Although Wood did not ejaculate inside her, he finished whatever, got off, and then Miller directed Harmon to engage in sexual intercourse with her, and he did ejaculate inside of Christel.
Which is evidence.
You know what this is sounding like, honestly, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the people who were involved in this. It honestly sounds like that man abused them.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It sounds like you direct them to have sex with somebody that they just kidnapped and they just do it. That sounds like they've been abused.
Well, when Harmon was finished, Miller directed Harmon and Wood to tie her to a wall, which they did. Miller then began to hit her, first with his fist, then with a 2x4 piece of wood.
Lord have mercy.
Harmon asked Miller for permission to hit Christel with his 12-gauge shotgun. And when granted permission, he did strike Christel with the shotgun.
Yeah, that's giving abuse.
Miller also struck Christel with an ice pick or a buck knife in her right breast and thigh. All three men exited the home briefly to count the money that they had stole from this white hand pantry. Then Miller...
And how much you really gonna get from a damn white hand pantry? Y'all, that's like a little corner store.
It's like a 7-Eleven.
It's not
back
like
in the day.
It's not like we're talking about some kind of like big box store that's like, you know, night hours or something like. We're not talking about a Kmart. We're talking about white hen. It's like the size of most people's first level of their house, and it's got like chips and soda. You might have a couple of little odds and ends. This is a little place. What kind of damn money did they think they was getting out of there?
Yep. I never saw, like, there was never anything I saw where it said how much money they had actually
Probably
stolen.
didn't get shit.
But then Miller told Harmon and Wood to find something with which to directly assault Christel.
Oh my God.
Harmon took the tire iron from Christel's vehicle and proceeded to directly assault her with the tire iron while Wood held her leg. Miller then told Harmon it was time to kill Christel. Miller told Wood to pull Christel's car around so that the lights would shine into the house. Harmon then escorted Christel, still bound and gagged, out of the home and down the hill to a point away from the home.
Was she alive during this?
Yes, she was.
Oh my God.
And this was when they shot her in the back of the head with the shotgun.
But for what? Like, oh my God.
Harmon then got into Christel's car with Wood, and they returned to the residence at 206 Holcomb, where Miller arrived a few minutes later. And as we've already said, Wood and Harmon, along with two 15-year-old girls, then packed Christel's car. And
Wait a minute. The girls packed the damn car?
And left for Kentucky.
Yes, ma'am.
At approximately 2 a.m. on November 14th, 1990.
So what did the girls think was going on?
I don't know. I guess they just figured these
It's a party. Oh my God.
At 2 a.m.
They got a car. We've been talking. They had already known about this trip to Kentucky. This was the whole point of them planning the robbery. So then, as we know, they were arrested in Owensboro, Kentucky on the morning of November 15th, 1990. They were actually camped out by the car. When they were arrested, they were brought back to Valpo. Harmon's statement was used to support the affidavit of probable cause, which was made by Detective Ivan Blackman of the Valparaiso Police Department in seeking the arrest warrant for Perry Stephen Miller. Mm-hmm. Although Harmon did not testify at trial, and his statement was not used any further. Wood's statement, however, which was basically the exact same as Harmon's, was played for the jury. Oh. So, there was some question as to whether Miller was really present for this incident. Harmon stated that Miller watched, while there was some, confusion.
So the statements didn't match, and they were probably, overlapping and causing a little bit of, are y'all lying to try to put it all on him? Yeah. But some of it sounds
y'all already admitted to doing what y'all admitted to doing
shows he was present. Mm-hmm. Because if he's giving you permission and giving you direction to do this in the process of your acts that you're doing, when he was on the phone, you didn't have cell phones really. I mean, you had brick phones. Some had to give.
So, Miller was arrested.
Hello?
By the Valparaiso Police
I'm a criminal.
Department.
I'm a piece of shit criminal. And I'm telling you to do horrible fucking things.
In the early morning hours of November 17th. Y'all want to know where they found him when he was arrested?
Who?
This is hilarious.
Miller.
He was...
Wait, hold on. Let me guess. I got some guesses. Okay, was he at Romantics on 20? Mm-mm. Was he at Walmart?
No, I'll give you a hint. He was home.
He was at home. Was he taking a shit?
No. What a bad way to go out. Imagine getting arrested while you on the toilet. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
I gotta wipe. Can I wipe?
Hey, what are you reaching for? Tissue, my guy.
Right. Was he watching kid porn?
You're not going to guess.
Was he...
I'll even tell you he was in the backyard.
Was he burying stuff? Burying evidence?
Close.
He was burning evidence.
No.
He was looking at evidence and reminiscing.
He was found lying in a sandbox in his backyard covered with leaves, wearing a parka and several layers of clothing. He was buried. He was hiding.
Oh my God. Are you so dumb?
Who had that?
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Now, hold on, let me come on. First of all, you know what? You know what this is giving?
You guilty as hell.
No, you know what it's giving? It's giving I was in the military. I bet you he was. I need to see his service record. Because you know what, military? I mean, I love our servicemen and women who are out here doing their thing. Thank you. No, for real. Thank you for your service.
I couldn't.
But I will tell you one thing that seems to be missed a lot is the mental health checks. Mm-hmm. We need to be checking these people before we're teaching them how to become a deadly ass weapon.
I didn't see anything that mentioned him being in the
bet
military.
You was.
I have some history on his past and his background, but I didn't see anything about him being in the military. But yeah, so he was found lying in a sandbox.
Covered, camouflage, you don't see me. Just like he in a damn Hunger Games.
Sand and leaves, baby. Sand and leaves.
I'm not gonna move. Remember how Peter was?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, he was like that.
And so now we get into the court proceedings.
Jesus Christ.
Which I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's a lot.
Oh God.
It's a mess. It was a hot mess. So we are gonna get into the court proceedings. So an initial hearing was held on November 19th, 1990, at which time Anthony Burdick appeared as private counsel on behalf of Miller. Mm-hmm. On November 26, 1990, Burdick was granted leave to withdraw his appearance. So, November 19th, he was assigned as private counsel. On the 26th, they granted him leave to withdraw.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, now wait a minute. Because it was sounding real familiar.
Then on December 11, 1990, Ronald Ongst appeared as public defender for Miller. Mm-hmm. A week later, Ongst filed a motion to set bail, a motion for early trial, and a motion to change venue. At a hearing on December 28, 1990, the court granted his motion for early trial and set the trial for February 26, 1991. They did deny the motion for change of venue, but ordered that the jury be drawn from a county other than Porter County.
But you know what? All it says when it talks about in the like what's supposed to happen in the justice system is you're supposed to get a jury of your peers. I don't really understand why, and maybe someone does know why, but like why do they allow you to change places?
Because of all of the negative news attention that it was getting, because again we talked about Valpo being this small homie town, and so if y'all are pulling people from this same town, they probably knew this girl in some way or shape or whatever, and they've heard the news and they're devastated, and this is the people that's going to judge me. I would rather go to a different county.
I bet you would rather.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think, this is just me, this is harshly justice. I think you should have to deal with it. You was big, bad, and bold enough to go fucking do it.
Well, but that's the reason why that he requested that.
Deal with it. Sound like a personal problem.
But they did say that they would grab, for the jury, they would grab from a county other than Porter County.
Now, where is Pulaski County at?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
I want to know how far it is from, because I know we have Lake County, LaPorte County.
No, so this was Porter. They didn't say where they pulled from people
It's
from.
Winnemac, Madairyville, Francisville, Star City.
Okay.
So it's like right there.
It says it was selected from Pulaski County.
Oh, okay, cool. So then on January 11th, 1991, the state moved to continue the trial date to allow for the testing of certain evidence by experts. And the court granted that motion on January 15th, resetting the trial for April 2nd, 1991.
Okay.
Ongst, that's Miller's public defender, he filed a 46-page motion, I'm not reading it, to dismiss the state's request for a death sentence on March 13th, 1991.
Oh, look at Indiana. Come on, Indiana, with that death sentence.
But the motion was denied.
Damn
by
it.
the court. So they did a request to dismiss the death sentence. It was denied.
Okay, yeah. Keep that death sentence on the... You might need it.
So on March 28th, Ongst filed a motion to exclude evidence, arguing that because he had not yet received the expert reports on the physical evidence, the expert evidence should be excluded. So his thing was that, because he got into this late, because he had one lawyer, he left. There was a time where he had nobody defending him. Then this lawyer steps in, and it was like right before he was saying he didn't receive anything, so he felt like it should be removed.
He needed at least the opportunity to review the evidence so that he could at least put up. I mean, even guilty people do get the right to have a proper defense.
Yes. So April 6th, after the jury had been selected, the court took up his motion. He stated to the court that he had received the DNA report from the FBI the previous day. Okay. So he had just got it.
All right.
As well as the Indiana State Police forensic report that morning. He thus asked the court to take the motion under advisement. And here's what the court said. The court decided to let the motion pend to give him leave to renew the motion during trial if he felt it necessary. They decided to let them, instead of going ahead and whether approving or denying the motion, they decided to leave it where it was and pending to give him what he felt was time.
Okay.
The information.
That seems fair.
You're right. And so they told him, basically they left it to him and they said, we'll leave you where you can renew the motion during trial if you feel it's necessary. So the jury was, as you said, selected from a panel of citizens in Pulaski County over 4 days. That was April 2nd to April 5th of 1991. Opening statements were made on April 6th, 1991, and then the jury began hearing evidence on April 8th, 1991.
So you guys, this is going to be our little bit of a pause because this is our second part tour.
It is. We do the part twos when we want to make sure that we don't miss any information. Also, where we're not keeping y'all hostage for 9 hours.
I mean,
so
it's a work shift.
So we're gonna stop here and we'll pick up where we left off next week.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We got TikTok,
YouTube. Please follow us on YouTube.
and
Like
we're working
us.
on the Twitter page.
Hit that like and subscribe button. We
Make-
can say it now.
Yes.
A 5-star
And
review.
comment. You know what? If you don't like us, you can comment and say you don't like us, but make sure you hit that 5-star. If you do like us, you can comment and say you like us and hit that 5-star.
And like we always
If you
say, we
don't-
want feedback.
Right, we want feedback. And if you don't like us, still subscribe. It's fine. It's all right. Make sure you turn notifications on.
Please.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.